everyone. In our last chapter, we learned about Leslie. Leslie, we met earlier in the story because she was the student with the two pigtails that Paul kept wanting to yank on her pigtails, which would make her scream. And so now we learned a little bit more about her. So they said that she had five fingers on each hand, like most people do, 5 toes on each foot, like most people do, 2 arms, 2 legs. So she was a lucky girl, but she realized, what good are my toes? She really wanted something that her toes were good for. And so Lewis, the yard teacher, said, well, how about if you don't need your toes, how about I pay you 5 cents for each toe? So if you have 10 toes and you count by 5s, that would be 50 cents. And she had to think about it. And then she's like, you know what? That's a good deal. I could buy a lot of things with 50 cents. And so she said, deal, to Lewis. And he was like, you know what? I changed my mind. Your big toes, I'll give you 5 cents. But the smaller ones, I'm going to give you 3 cents. And she was like, what? You said 5 cents this whole time for each one. And so she's like, no deal. And so she's like, they'll be here if you want them. She started to walk away. And that's when Lewis saw her pigtails again. And he said, I'll give you $1 for each of your pigtails. And she said, cut my hair? Are you crazy? So it was funny that she was just fine if he was going to cut her toes, which would be so painful. But when he said he'd cut her hair, she was like, not a chance. So that was our chapter about Leslie. Today, we got a long one, guys. Our chapter today is about Miss Zarves. Okay, so buckle in. You ready? There is no Miss Zarves. There is no 19th story. Sorry. And that's the end of our chapter. See? It's tiny. Tiny chapter. If you remember, one of the students earlier had to walk down and give a note to Miss Zarves, but he had no note, and there actually is no Miss Zarves. So they say there's no 19th story, there's no Miss Zarves. So for the 19th chapter, that's how long the chapter is. Kind of goofy. Okay, so next time we'll be reading about Kathy in our 20th chapter. Okay, we'll see you next time.